Hello everybody, my name is Alexis. I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, and author of the book A Journey into Truth, Unveiling Life's Secrets for Truth Seekers. And you are watching the Vibrate to Create YouTube channel. And on this channel, I talk about life, philosophy, meaning, art, spirituality, metaphysics, and so much more. If you're interested in topics like these, then click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified of when I post new videos so you never miss a video. Thank you for being a part of my journey. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for coming back to the Vibrate to Create YouTube channel. It's been about a month since I posted my last video, and I've just been working on other things in my real life trainings, just getting things prepared, figuring out how to make things work on the business aspect and the business side of Vibrate to Create. So there are things in the works. I'm still in the very beginning stages of it and just kind of fleshing out how this will go and what's the plan and how do I execute and make it happen. So I have ideas. My next idea is actually I wanted to create a Patreon, and I got this idea from several other YouTubers that I watch and really am a big fan of. So I decided I'm going to make my own as well. And I also was told by someone who, actually the woman who runs this studio, she told me you should start thinking about making a paywall so that people can pay for the content that you put so much work into and allow yourself to receive on the other end as well so that you can give more to them. And yeah, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort to make videos and create videos and to produce videos and to come up with the ideas and then to be the one behind the camera. So it's a lot of work, and I'm doing it kind of part-time right now. I'd love to eventually do it full-time. So I feel like this is on the right track to be able to allow me the time, the space, the resources to be able to do this full-time. So linked below will be a Patreon. So if anybody would like to join that and become a member of it, I'm still kind of thinking of the ideas. If you guys have any ideas of what you'd like to see in the Patreon, then let me know. I've seen other people who do, it's kind of like a community membership where you can interact with the person, or there's this YouTuber who she does early access videos, so people who are on the Patreon get to see the videos before they actually go out to the public on YouTube. And there's also people who do like exclusive videos that only the Patreon members can see, and so I think that's probably going to be an idea that I'll implement into there. But I'm still thinking of how I want to run that community and how I want to, add value to you guys as well as just something a little bit extra, a little bit special for people who decide that they want to support the channel. So I'm thinking of ideas. If you have any ideas, let me know and maybe I will implement those. But yeah, so we're going to have a Patreon membership. So if you guys would like to join, check the link down below. But yeah, so enough about the Patreon and about where Vibrate to Create is going to be going. Today, I have a reaction video in store, and I was watching this video yesterday. And as I was watching it, I actually wasn't deciding that I was wanting to react to this video, but there was this tiny little snippet within the whole interview where they started to talk about metaphysics. And I was like, ooh. And so I stopped listening and I just kind of screen recorded it so that way I could watch it here with you guys for the first time and react to it. And it's actually Elon Musk in an interview talking about God and what his beliefs are about religion and surrounding religion. And so I was like, this would be perfect to go on Vibrate to Create. And for me to kind of add on to what he says about it and what I've learned on my spiritual journey and the different things that I've studied. So let's go ahead and go over this and watch it together. So the clip that I filmed, it's only about 6 minutes long. So today will be a little bit of a shorter video. So
but no, I do like video games to be like my main sort of thing to do to
get away, quiet
my mind, Yeah. Stop the demons in my mind from yelling at me.
Are you religious at all?
I would say I generally agree with the teachings of Christianity, but I'm not religious. Like I agree with.
Do you believe in a higher power?
And like turn the other cheek and love the neighbor as thyself and that kind of thing. I think those are good principles.
The teachings of
yeah, I think good principles.
But do you believe in like a God or like a higher power?
well, something created the universe, or the universe is, here. How did it come to be? You could say whatever caused the universe to come to be is God, or gods, depending on your view. I don't know. I think as a philosophy that I think makes sense is to go out there and to expand consciousness so that we're better able to answer the questions of, like, what is the meaning of life? What is the nature of the universe? What are even the right questions to ask? And if we can expand consciousness, more humans and more digital intelligence.
I just want to pause here for a second. That was like the whole meaning of why I went on a spiritual journey and started to kind of study different modalities, different belief systems, different religions. And also, I know that there is so much more out there that I have not even dabbled in or maybe even heard of. And so even just things like consciousness and things like, when we say metaphysics, it doesn't have to be so spiritual. It means meta, meaning not here in the physical world. It's, what is the origin of the word meta? Let's see. What does meta mean? As a prefix, some of the definitions are denoting a change of position or condition. So meaning out of the physical world, out of the physical body, denoting position behind, after, or beyond physical life. Or denoting something of a higher or second order kind. And the example here is meta language. Let's see the definition of metaphysics. The branch of philosophy that deals with the first principles of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. In the mid-16th century, it was representing medieval Latin metaphysica based on Greek ta meta ta physica, the things after the physics, referring to the sequence of Aristotle's works. The title came to denote the branch of study treated in the books, later interpreted as meaning the science of things transcending what is physical or natural. I have chills. So that's the definition of metaphysics. But that was so much of what I was interested in. I talk about it all the time. It's so funny. And I'm so excited when people who, they seem very normal. Well, I guess Elon Musk isn't necessarily normal. He's very out there. I don't think I could make a rocket ship or a car. He's very smart, I should say, is the right word. But just people like this who kind of dabble into these ideas, and it's more like an open-mindedness of not like, yes, absolutely, there's only Christianity is the only right way, and like there's no such thing as any of these things. So it's really cool when you see someone who is so well known in the general public kind of having this kind of opinion of a little bit more open-mindedness towards understanding consciousness and understanding what is the nature of reality, and also kind of thinking of these ideas of what is the meaning of life. And that was also something I kind of grappled with or thought about in my book. And I've actually talked about it in other videos as well. It's like, what is the meaning of life? And that was what I was searching for. It's like, why am I here? And not in like a nihilistic sense of like, there's no meaning to life, but like really searching for what is that meaning. And I guess the thing that I came to know was, and I think let's talk about the video first. Let's go through the video before I go into this.
Intelligence, then our opportunity to understand the meaning of life is that much greater.
Deep.
And so I would I have the philosophy of curiosity to understand the nature of reality.
So you've never practiced any religions?
No, I was, I was sent to weirdly a Hebrew preschool. I'm not Jewish, but my dad sent me there because it was like nearby, and I guess his partners in his engineering firm they sent their kids there. So so I was at Hebrew preschool and then Anglican Sunday school. And so it was like Hava Nagila one day and Jesus Alo the next, you know. You know, so but I would say that I've never been particularly religious.
Do you have an answer for what the meaning of life is? What your meaning of life is?
Well, I think currently the thing to do is to expand humanity and consciousness to the point where we're able to answer that question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we can answer that question yet, or we can't answer what's the meaning of life well yet.
I find that so interesting how it's like, you know, we're technically like the most intelligent species on the planet, so to say, but we can't even, no one on this planet can explain like, or provide evidence of like our existence or how we were created. I find that so, you know what I mean? Like,
it could be very simple.
No one on this planet could say, how were we created? That's why I feel like there has to be some sort of higher power, you know?
It's gotta be.
Like, we're not smart enough to even explain our own existence.
So I'm going to pause here. So they were talking about the meaning of life. And like I was saying earlier in my book, that was something that I really wanted to understand, because when you're faced with, well, I'm only here for a certain amount of time. So what is the meaning of why I'm here? Why am I here? What is the purpose of even deciding to come to Earth, or even deciding to just like, even that aside, it's like, how do I even know I decided? So in my book, I feel like the end result of my searches and the things that I was learning about of like, what is the meaning of life? Because I like grappled with that question for years. I think a lot. I think about things very deeply. And also in a very broad, overall kind of sense in many ways. And so when I was searching and when I was like diving deep and just really thinking and like being in my own little cave when I was off of social media for those 6 years, really just experiencing life, I feel like I came as close to knowing the meaning of life as I possibly could as a human being, and that only had to do with my own experiences. So for you, it could be very different based on your own experiences and the things that you've kind of learned along your own path. But what I came to understand was, as I was searching and as I was like having these experiences with various other people, various different personalities, and going out and searching and like just having conversations and understanding things. In my book, the example I said was, it was almost as if I had been picking up every single rock along a path. And I was looking at this one and saying, this is a good rock, but this is not the truth. And then I'd set it down and I'd pick up another rock and I'd kind of examine it and be like, this is a good rock, but not the truth. And what I came to realize towards the end of that path of like really deeply searching and looking was, it's not finding the specific rock or the specific diamond or the specific thing that is the one and only. It's about enjoying the particular rock that is in your hand. And so to me, that was kind of a way of understanding the meaning of life, was like enjoying the tiny little moments that seem very mundane, like whether you're sitting across from somebody at a dinner table and you're just having a beautiful conversation and not missing the moment, not missing the meaning of this beautiful moment in time where it's like two people creating, a beautiful moment together. And I lose sight of this even now, but I feel like I've had many moments where it's like, this is the meaning of life. Like being in such a beautiful space or in a beautiful moment in time and being like, ooh, this is why I'm here. And I feel like so many people miss out on that because they just are so focused on like, get the job done, go get a job, go to college, do all these things, and like all these things that you've learned as you've grown up. And it's like, maybe that is part of it, because that is also like very fulfilling when you can fulfill a goal and you can like right now in my training with my entrepreneurship coach and public speaking coach, he's having us do this thing where every single day we do push-ups and we're tracking our improvements over time. I think it's over like a 90-day period. And so you get to see the very beginning where you begin, and then also at the end you can kind of see how much you've improved. And I can only imagine, we haven't gotten to the end yet, but I can only imagine what that feels like inside, where it's like, oh my gosh, look at how much I've grown, and look at how much I've been able to accomplish within this one tiny little task that we have done over the past, couple of months. And that's just one tiny little example in a lifetime or in a lifespan. And if you think about it in a bigger like scenario where it's like, I want to create a company called Vibrate to create. And then you see, well, it grew it just a little bit. And now look at it here, like, however long in the future. And it's like, that is also part of the meaning of life. It's like the growing aspect and the growing process of creation and moving forward. And I mean, I could go all day talking about the meaning of life. I feel like there are so many meanings of life and so many ways to look at this particular question. If you guys have ideas, leave them down in the comments below. But I love talking about these things because it's like when you really dive deep into thinking very deeply, then it causes you to start looking at life in a different way, and also looking at the choices that you make in every tiny little moment and step, and how you could become better.